Dear Derry, welcome to Thursday. I have no notes for today. This morning I woke up, I checked my email. There was an email from Emma Swift, the author that is writing, or that wrote what I presume is pronounced Saga's Children. Basically saying, I haven't forgotten about it. I swear to God, I'm waiting for my Swedish friend to do the pronunciations for me. Okay, all right. Let's see. I spent a lot of time today talking with one of my friends who's here visiting, some of my housemates, about Eve, Eve Online, which I haven't played in a long time. I basically pop on, throw a new skill into my training thing, because you can train when you're not online. You just find some skill that you want to train up, you throw it into your skills training queue, and you log back out. And it'll just train automatically while you're not online. And it's one of the great things about it, especially for some of the more complicated, once you get to the higher levels of certain things, almost every single skill is rated level 1 through 5. Different skills take longer to train than others do. Most of them, the first one you get will be like 3 minutes to train level 1, and it goes out to I think 21 days to train level 5 on some of them. That can get a little hairy. There's probably more than that. Like if you're learning how to fly capital ships, it can probably be a very long period of time that your character is having this knowledge downloaded into their brain. Anyway, so we were talking about the latest expansion which they did, which is called Rubicon, and I haven't really played around with it at all since the last two or three expansions. And we were standing in the kitchen because I was making some oatmeal, and it's steel cut oatmeal. By the way, steel cut, also referred to as pinhead oats, much better. It takes longer to cook them, but anything worth doing is worth taking a long time. So saith the Ents, sort of. Anyway, so he was talking about these tractor beam platforms. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Apparently, they've got these it's like a little platform that you can set up. Like you go out to a mining, an asteroid belt that you're going to mine or something, and you've got all your little drones flying around your ship to protect you while you're mining, and you just, or maybe you've got your drones out, mining drones that are out, doing their thing. Maybe you've only got one or two, combat drones zipping around. And so what you wind up doing is, some, set of NPC pirates or something come into the belt, and you're like, go kill those guys. Abe is oh, I know what it is. Palmer's home. That's why Abe's going crazy. Anytime Daddy comes home, dogs go nuts. Anyway, so you send your drones off after these things, and they blow them up, but they're way out there and you can't reach them. Well, if you have a tractor beam on your spaceship, you can just lock onto it and pull it to you, and then you can salvage it and do whatever, or loot the wreck, as it were. But apparently, like most of the mining ships that I go out in, they don't have tractor beams mounted on them because it's a mining ship. And so apparently this tractor platform, you put it out there wherever you're mining, and it can reach out like 100 kilometers, which is a big way. It's a long distance. I mean, if you're sitting in the middle of an asteroid belt, usually, it's 200, maybe 300 kilometers wide from one end to the other. And so if you're sitting right in the middle, you can almost reach to either end with this thing. It's like, well, it's not bad, and it just locks on and pulls everything in, and you just harvest whatever you need. I usually carry a salvage drone with me, and I'm like, okay, go salvage stuff, and it takes off to the wrecks and salvages what it can and brings back, melted circuits and all sorts of other stuff that you can use later on. You can use them to build other stuff. it is honestly a lot of fun. The game can be a lot of fun. I just kind of fell out of the habit of playing it. Anyway, so we were talking about that for a goodly portion of the period of time at which I was cooking my oatmeal. There's really not much else that was going on. The guys who make Pantheon, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, released their map today. It's a very cool looking little map. It looks very, I would say it looks very simplistic. It's a very basic map. It doesn't have a lot to it yet. It is what I would refer to as a very general map. You know, it's the different areas, the different regions of the continent of the, I believe, the continent of Celestis. And you know, the different regions of it, and like one city in each of those sections. I fully expect that there will be a lot more development to that map. I mean, I've got a map that I have for one of my stories that I was writing. So depressing. Anyway, I asked a friend of mine who, if you ever played Warhammer Online, not Warhammer 40K, but the RPG Warhammer Online with the goblins and the orcs and the wolves, that whereas in World of Warcraft, when the wolves are idle, they scratch their ears. In Warhammer Online, when they're idle, they lick themselves, which I think is hysterical. Anyway, the guy who did the map for that is a friend of mine, and he did the map for me. And when I first asked him to do it, I said, it's just this kind of map. It's about this size, and it's got like these towns. He's like, no, I need more data. If I'm going to do a map, I want to do a map, I'm like, I don't know. There's probably these three things. He's like, no, I need more. I need more data than that. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, come back to me when you've got something. I'm like, okay. So I, went off and I started creating all this stuff. He's like, I need to know little bitty towns, villages, hamlets, camps, mines, I was just like, okay. All right, fine. And so he did this map for me, and it looks great. It looks fantastic, and that's the kind of thing I expect to see from, Pantheon by the time they're done with the development. Because I mean, if I can afford to get this thing done, they should be able to do a lot more than I can. Not to mention the fact that they have a team of writers working on that thing. They should be able to come up with all kinds of stuff for it. So I'm sure they will develop it more. This is just a first pass of this one particular island or continent or something. So yeah, there's that. I really don't have that much else to talk about. And we're coming up on closing in on 8.5 minutes. Wow, there's a bit of a difference between those two. 10 minutes, in fact. So yeah, 8.5 minutes of vamping and talking about nothing. Well, not nothing, but not a whole lot. So I will talk to you guys later. I will be on. I'm not doing Into the Portal tomorrow because I'm taking a hiatus from the show. However, I have told Rico that I will do the Star Citizen Base radio station, radio show tomorrow night. So that will be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is something later than that in GMT, which I can't think of right now. And remember, this weekend we spring forward time. It's this weekend though. It's like Saturday night. Okay, but I'll deal with that as we get closer to it. So I will talk to you guys later, and until next time, be careless.